Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my big preview for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2. Everything's coming back next week, so this is like the week to get ready. They've cast a bunch of big characters from the comics, and they will be doing a big crossover with Avengers 2 whenever it comes out next spring. So I'll just start by explaining the new arc of Season 2, then do new characters, and then explain what's going on with all the crossovers. And hello to any new people. If you're just finding me for the first time, I'm doing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel videos all season long. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'm even going to be doing like a special swag giveaway. I'll explain at the end of this. So right off the bat, just careful for spoilers from the finale from Season 1. I'm going to have to explain Season 2 using Season 1, so I'll wait just a sec. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. There will be a time gap between the end of Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2, about 6 months. Skye is now in full-on agent mode, Coulson has been director of S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time, and Hydra Ward is still in a holding cell. He's still part of the show. He'll just be like the Loki of the season. Like the bad boy they stick in the holding cell whenever they don't need him for a special mission. And oh yes, they will definitely be letting him out for special missions this year. They did it with Loki and Dark World, they're gonna do it with Ward. I love that he grew a beard, just to let you know he's extra bad, like motorcycle riding, chain smoking bad. I'm totally just kidding. I totally love what they did with the character in the last couple of episodes in Season 1. I did not like Quarterback Ward, but I totally love Hydra Ward. See, this is why you stick with the show. They had a plan all along. So that's a lesson. If there's any characters that you totally don't dig right now, something crazy might happen at the end of the season and they might start being really awesome. Right now, there are a couple big arcs they've already teed up for episode 1. There's all the Kree code. I'm calling it Kree right now. There's also a slim chance it could be Inhumans related. Feel free to suggest alternatives though if you think you've figured it out. That's going to be Skye's standing order in between regular missions. Decode the symbols. So obviously the other big running plot is going to be cleaning up the remainders of Hydra. They also just aired the first 2 minutes of that first episode, and they teased this Indiana Jones type warehouse full of unknown items. So that also is going to be one of the running plots. So you may have heard about some of the new characters. Obviously the biggest one is Lucy Lawless. She's basically playing Agent Hartley. She's not a character from the comics, she's someone totally new to the show. There's also a bunch of Dollhouse Whedonverse people joining the cast as new characters who aren't from the comics, but there are a few big comic book characters. Lucy Lawless is playing what's being described as veteran agent Hartley. So she's going to be someone Coulson goes to for help, but being Lucy Lawless, you can totally expect her to be a badass. I think the only show I ever saw her on where she was not a little bit scary was Parks and Rec, who she also happened to be on with Star-Lord. How's that for a Marvelverse crossover? The biggest new character from the comics though is going to be Mockingbird. She's being played by Adrianne Palicki. If you haven't read the comics recently, she had a big part in the Secret Avengers storyline with Hawkeye. That all went down after the Civil War event. As a character, she does have a few special abilities. She was injected with some super soldier serum that slowed down the aging process, made her super strong. I don't know if the show's gonna play with that. Think of it as like a lesser version of what happened to Captain America. She's also this super smart biochemist, so think of her as being like May and Simmons combined. Season 2 is actually going to feature a lot of new badass women, which I'm sure they will totally use for comedy when some of the bigger dudes like Triplet and Ward are on screen with them. Then we have our first big villain. It's going to be Kraken from the comic books. He's being played by Daniel Whitehall, who you might recognize from Dollhouse or, other Joss Whedon whatnot. He might not be the big bad, but he's going to be one of the bigger villains. In the comics, he's this legendary Hydra agent who has this special helmet that works kind of like Iron Man armor. Whenever he puts it on, he's encased in hyper-advanced armor, and the helmet itself works a little bit like the Helmet of Fate, which I know is kind of mixing metaphors with DC. It just imbues some of its own personality onto whoever wears it. The other really big character that they've cast is going to be Skye's father. We don't know if he's going to be a villain or if he's going to be good. He's being played by Kyle MacLachlan. We don't know really anything about that character other than he's just a little bit sinister. It looked kind of like he was covered in blood during the finale last year. If you ever watched them on How I Met Your Mother, think of it as being like the scary face captain. I'm also really hoping they work in some trippy Twin Peaks references. I feel like it should be illegal to cast Kyle MacLachlan in some sort of sci-fi comic book show without doing some Twin Peaks references. The last big character they've announced is Nick Blood, being played by Lance Hunter. He's going to be a non-friendly that Coulson goes to for help. He's not a comic book character, but he does lead Strike, which is like a British SHIELD type organization. The acronym stands for Special Tactical Reserve for International Key Emergencies. Pretty much everybody that is still alive from Season 1 is also coming back. Like Triplet is going to be a big character on the team, and Ward is still totally around. Patton Oswalt is also going to continue to show up on occasion. I'm still totally thinking of him as like a life model decoy. Either that or he had some mystery twin that he just never talked about. They still have a ton of episodes to shoot, so they're going to bring on more comic book characters, they just haven't announced them yet. What's happening with the Avengers 2 crossover is that basically some of the characters from S.H.I.E.L.D. will be in that movie, like Coulson, for instance. It'll be somewhat similar to the tie-in with Winter Soldier, where some of the plot from Age of Ultron will be followed up on in a S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. The other really cool thing that's happening in the premiere next week is they're going to have Haley Atwell and the Howling Commandos in a flashback scene. I will be doing more videos for that show whenever it gets closer to the premiere. It's not going to start airing until S.H.I.E.L.D. goes on break sometime in January. But Agent Carter, whenever it does come on, will be in the same time slot on the same day. That show just cast the character that Tony Stark's Jarvis AI is based on. His name is James Darcy, and he's from Broadchurch if you ever watched that show. The character's name is going to be Edwin Jarvis. In the canon, how it's going to work is he'll be Howard Stark's real-life butler that Tony Stark later immortalizes by turning into his AI. Then, obviously, eventually, he'll be turned into the Vision during Age of Ultron. Or at least the Vision will be based on the Jarvis AI. It's just like Iron Man 2 and Captain America, where they had two different actors playing Howard Stark. One when he was really old and one when he's really young. I know it's all totally bleeding together in our heads, but it'll totally be fine. So here are the important dates for the premiere you need to remember. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will premiere next Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ABC. That's 1 hour later than last year, so the time changed a little bit. I know that Fox will air the episodes in Asian countries. In the UK, it's on Channel 4. For other countries, just check your local listings, and I don't know when international episodes are airing, but you might have to wait a week after it airs in the United States. So if you want to watch it when it first airs, you might have to find an alternate way. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes and Flash episodes air on the same night, it's going to cause a little bit of a traffic jam with my videos, so this is how it's going to work. The Flash airs before S.H.I.E.L.D. does, so I'll be doing those videos first. Those will go up on Tuesday nights. S.H.I.E.L.D. videos will probably just go up Wednesday mornings, the next morning. Next week is going to be a little bit different just because I've already seen the first episode of The Flash, so I'll be posting that video early. So I will be posting my S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 1 review Tuesday night. Be sure to subscribe to get it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll also be live tweeting while it's on TV, so all my social links are in the description. I'm pretty good about not being spoilery. It's just a fun way to talk to people during the broadcast, like while it's happening in the moment. The giveaway that I'm going to be doing for all these comic book shows is just a little bit different. I'll just be randomly selecting people from the comments who I just think are really awesome. Not the comments, the people making the comments. So if you want me to know that you're alive, just leave comments. So right now, click here to get my non-spoilery review of the first episode of Gotham. That's also coming next week. And click here to learn all about the new live-action Teen Titans show that's coming. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.